Most persons will be surprised to know this. The reaction of God's holiness to sin is frequently described as the wrath of God. For the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and wickedness of men who by their wickedness suppress the truth. The wrath of God in the Bible is not an irrational, capricious, emotional outburst of anger and seeing red. Rather, it is his consistent and necessary reaction to the objective reality of moral evil. In the words of Leon Morris, God's wrath is his personal divine revulsion to evil and his personal vigorous opposition to it. Contrary to human wrath, which is usually arbitrary and uninhibited, divine wrath is principled and controlled. It is free from personal animosity or vindictiveness. It is always accompanied by undiminished love for the sinner. God's wrath in the Bible is always judicial in the sense that it is the wrath of the judge who administers justice. It is his intense displeasure and condemnation of sin. It issues not from passion, but from God's holiness and righteousness, which is the basis of the administration of the universe. John Stott rightly observes that what is common to the biblical concepts of the holiness and the wrath of God is the truth that they cannot coexist with sin. God's holiness exposes sin, his wrath opposes it, so sin cannot approach God, and God cannot tolerate sin. This biblical understanding of God's nature is unpopular today. Most people prefer an easygoing God who is tolerant of their offenses. They want God to be gentle, accommodating, without any violent reaction. They want to bring God down to their level and raise themselves up to his, so that ultimately there is no need for the sacrificial death of Jesus on the cross on their behalf. To counteract this misconception of God, it is imperative to recover the biblical revelation of the God who hates evil, is angered by it, and refuses to compromise with it. It is essential to understand that God's holiness requires that sin be punished. If God failed to punish sin, then he could not claim to be perfectly just. His infinite justice demands the punishment of the sinner or of an appropriate substitute. Frequently, the Bible reminds us that God cannot excuse or overlook sin. I will not acquit the wicked. I will by no means clear the guilty. See the full video for more details. Subscribe, like, and share.